Hey guys, today I'll be doing the next part of what if Goku was like Beerus. So since I don't want my what ifs to be taking too long, this is gonna be the second last part of this what if. Then for my next video, it's gonna be the finale for this what if series. So the way this what if begins is we see Goku and Beerus preparing to fight. And Beerus says, "I hope you're ready, Saiyan. Oh, this is gonna be a fight like you've never had before." To which Goku giggles and he says, "I wouldn't have it any other way." So they clash with one another and Goku in this right now is in his Destroyer Super Saiyan form, which is the most powerful state, with Beerus at 100%, since they don't want to hold back. And both of them are going blow for blow against one another, and it doesn't seem like there's any clear winner. And Goku sees this and he thinks of what Vegeta did by putting Kaioken on top of his current form. So he thinks that this would be a good thing for him to attempt. So he too says Kaioken, and his power doubles with that one shout. This makes Beerus drop a bead of sweat because he's not sure on how he'll be able to compete with such a power. So Whis tells Beerus that he knows it's a long shot, but he has to use the power that he has been training for all these years. And Beerus agrees. And he knows that if he fails to win this fight, it would be an embarrassment for him and all other destroyers to have been beaten by a normal mortal without any divine training. So Beerus closes his eyes and lets his body move on its own. And Goku finds it harder and harder to hit Beerus. Goku says Kaioken times 5. And this is the highest he can take it since the destroyer form is so unstable. And even when he's using his Kaioken, even though he's 5 times stronger than Beerus at 100%, he's not able to hit Beerus. And Beerus opens his eyes and we see them take on a silver shade. And he says, "Look here, mortal, and gaze upon the power of Ultra Instinct." And Goku isn't landing any hits on Beerus. And Beerus says, "Ultra Instinct is mostly an evasive form when it's incomplete, but mixed with Destroyer energy, it takes on a new type of attribute. It has destructive capabilities." And as soon as Beerus says this, his power spikes up immediately. And Beerus is now using Ultra Instinct and his Destroyer power simultaneously. And Goku isn't standing any chance. He's getting battered and bruised and beaten by Beerus. And Goku thinks that there has to be a way that he can at least even the playing field. So as our one last resort, he says Kaioken times 10. And this takes him to a whole other plane of power than he even was just 5 minutes ago. And he starts wailing on Beerus. And Beerus sees that this is gonna be a very complicated fight. So Beerus, as time passes during this fight, is gradually getting more accustomed to this Ultra Instinct form due to his sheer motivation to win this fight. And this ends up with Beerus, for a split second, displaying a white aura and mastering the Ultra Instinct state for one split second, just as he's punching Goku, which means that all his power gets concentrated to this one punch and it knocks Goku out. And Beerus says, "Not bad for a Saiyan," since he's trying to act confident that this was what was gonna happen anyway. "Maybe with a few years of training you'll have a chance to catch up. But as you see, I won't let you win so easily." And Beerus knows that he would have lost this fight if he hadn't gotten lucky. But he's at least proud to have won against such a dangerous threat. And he says, My Beerus, you won with a sliver of luck. That's quite astounding. So shall we be off I hope you have achieved everything I wanted to do. And Beerus says, I think this is okay. We can leave for now. But as he's leaving, he sees Bardock, Goku's father. And he says, you Saiyan, are you not the one who I gave destroyer power before, while you were getting attacked by those other Saiyans? And Bardock says, yes, that was me. I have to thank you for your help. It really changed the course of my life. Thank you. And Beerus is happy with his thanks, so he's not even angry anymore. And he says, that's no problem with me. But I will ask for a repayment. Do you know any planet with good food? And Bardock says, you won't have to go far, Beerus. Grab one to me and I'll take you to the planet with the best food I've ever eaten. And Bardock teleports Beerus and everyone else to Earth. And they enjoyed the Earth food, and Beerus is very satisfied with his meal. So as he's going back, he then stumbles across Champa, who is trying to steal the Universe 7 Super Dragon Balls. And he tells Beerus about how he's gonna have a tournament to see who is the strongest universe, and the winner will get the Dragon Balls, to which Beerus gets cocky and he agrees, knowing that his fighters are on a whole other level of power. But what Beerus doesn't know is that a few Universe 7 Earthlings sneaked into Universe 6. And I don't think you know where this is going, but this is Dr. Gero with his androids. So, while everyone else thought that this was gonna be a usual competition, Gero and the androids intercept Champa and they say, Champa, we have a particular grudge against Goku and his other warriors. So let us fight for you and upgrade your soldiers. And in return, let us have our revenge on Goku. And to this, Champa smirks and he agrees, knowing that this will be a boost for his fighters. So now we skip to the day of this tournament. And Goku notices that he can't sense the ki of any of the Universe 6 fighters except for Kaba, and he's confused on why this is the case. And in the stands, he can see a familiar face, Dr. Gero, and Goku shouts, hey you, aren't you a Universe 7 person? Why are you in the Universe 6 stands? To which Gero says, as you can see, I've switched sides, you filthy monkey. After what you did to me and the Red Ribbon Army, it will be a great pleasure assisting Champa in his fight. So, this means that now we see the new fighters of Universe 6, Android 17, 18. On top of this, we now see Kaba hit, and for the last fighter, it is a green monster wearing a cloak, and he says, my name is Cell. This means that this fight is nowhere to the point that anyone would have expected. And in the Universe 7 fight, we now see Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, Bardock, and for the fifth fighter, Nappa decides that he wants to sit this one out, and instead they let Gohan be part of this fight. So now everyone would be curious on why Gohan is part of this fight. But everyone has noticed how Gohan has a special potential that no one has noticed yet, since he has destroyer powers just waiting to be fully unleashed. So now the first fight begins, which will be Raditz versus Android 17. And Raditz realizes he has to go to his Super Saiyan Blue stage just to stand a chance against Android 17. But with one final push, he defeats Android 17. And then after that, he fights Android 18. And just as he thinks he has the higher chance, Android 18 gives him a surprise attack, which lands him out of the ring. And then Bardock now comes against Android 8. Vegeta comes against Android 18. And Vegeta, using his Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue ability from the start, knocks Android 18 out. Then after this fight, we now see Vegeta coming against Carbo. And Vegeta asks, are you with these enemies, or are you independent? And Carbo says how he's just here for a fair fight and he has no need to be automated like these other warriors. To which Vegeta smirks and he says, okay then, I take it you're a Saiyan. And Carbo says yes. And Vegeta asks him, why don't you go Super Saiyan then? And Carbo explains that he doesn't know how, to which Vegeta laughs and says, what type of Saiyan are you? And then he teaches Carbo how to become a Super Saiyan the same way as in canon. And then on top of this, Vegeta says, here's one final gift. And he charges some Super Saiyan blue energy into Carbo, which allows him to unlock Divine Key for the first time. And for a split second, he becomes a Super Saiyan God. And he then falls out of the power. Then after this, we now see Vegeta against Hit. And this is a fight that no one would have expected. Vegeta is actually struggling against Hit. He used Kaioken times 10 and he can't do anything. And Hit laughs and he thanks Jiro for this infinite energy. For now, he is on a completely other level. And Hit uses time skip after time skip after time skip, and Vegeta doesn't stand any chance, and he gets knocked out of the ring. Which means that now it's either Bardock, Goku or Gohan who has to enter. And Goku reserves this place for Bardock, and he says, Bardock, show them what I've been teaching you. And Bardock lands onto the arena, and he says, thanks Goku for reawakening what I'd forgotten all those years ago. And Bardock transforms to his destroyer state, and on top of this he mixes Super Saiyan Blue on top of that, which makes him a whole other type of fighter. And he says, if only you had come against me before I had such power. And using one simple kick and attack barrage, he manages to knock Hit out of the arena. Because no matter what Hit tried to do, Bardock was on a whole other plane of power. And then they say, time for our last fighter. Then Jiro says, sorry Champa, change of plans. Cell, absorb them. And Cell, using Yadrachian techniques of cloning, goes behind Hit, Carbo, Android 17, Android 18. And on top of this, he manages to sneak behind Champa also. And he absorbs all of them and combines into one warrior. This is Destroyer perfect Destroyer Cell. And Cell laughs and says, thank you for all this power, and thank you Jiro for taking me to this strength. But unfortunately your services will no longer be needed. And as Jiro thought he was clever, he gets ended with one single blast, and Cell says, how I hated that old man. But now I have become perfect, and I can show the results of my perfection. And now, this means that Goku, Gohan, and Bardock are the last people who can easily fight against this foe. So now, the Cell decides that you three can come at me all at once. I really don't care. For now, my perfection has no bounds. So now, as Goku, Vegeta, everyone tries to fight Cell, Cell breaks Vegeta's leg and arm. He beats up Raditz, and he manages to, even though Bardock manages to weaken Cell a bit, he leaves Bardock on the brink of death. And now he says, I hear you talking about Gohan having some special potential. Well, I haven't seen anything from him yet. So if you wanna survive, you better display it, young boy. And Goku says, Gohan, unleash all you've been trained for. And Gohan uses his destroyer Super Saiyan Blue state. But it's not enough. No matter what he does, Cell is on another level. And Cell beats up Goku and he leaves everyone except for Gohan on the brink of death. Then he starts torturing everyone. He says, Gohan, if you don't snap right now, your father dies. And this results in a push in Gohan. And his power multiplies hundreds of times over. And as we see, coming out of the smoke, a Super Saiyan 2 destroyer Gohan. And this power shakes the arena. And it makes Cell drop beads of sweat. He didn't expect such a power to be possible. And this even makes Vados and Whis shocked that such a power has been unlocked by mortals. And so, this even surpasses Beerus 20 times over, and even more than that. How did he gain such power? And then Gohan destroys Cell, beats him up, destroys his limbs one by one, leaving Cell as a mere head, and he uses it as a football and kicks Cell into the arena. And on top of that, he throws a Hakai blast straight towards Cell, destroying him completely. But Gohan can't control this rage. He starts destroying random areas of the arena in his immeasurable rage, and Goku can't stop him. No one can stop him. He's a whole other type of person now. His rage is unstoppable. And just as everyone is about to give up and get destroyed by Gohan, he gets stopped in 1 second and he gets incapacitated and knocked unconscious. And as everyone looks to see who did it, they see someone who looks like a child and his 2 bodyguards next to him, and he says, so we leave mortals away for a few thousand years and this is what they do? This is disappointing. And Zeno walks in and he says, yeah, I agree with you. These mortals aren't good at all. Maybe I should erase them. And Beerus is scared and he says, no, Lord Zeno. There's no need to do that. They just got a bit unruly, that's all. Then Goku says, let me go greet this man. And he goes to greet Zeno. And he shakes his hand and makes friends with Zeno. And he apologizes for what happened. And he says, it was just this Cell creature who was made to be evil like that. It wasn't any of us. We were just here for a good fight, and so was Champa. And maybe if you want, we can make it up to you with a whole good tournament, with a good amount of fights and all that. To which Zeno gets intrigued by this and he says, okay, fine. As a repayment, I want a tournament. And this makes everyone less worried about what's gonna happen. So as Zeno's about to walk off, we now see a future warrior come from a time machine, and he says, look out. And from behind everyone, a reformed Cell with new power comes out and says, you thought you had killed me? As long as one cell or even one fraction of a cell of me remains, I will regenerate. And Cell splits himself throughout the multiverse so that they'll never catch him. And just as he thinks he's safe, Zeno just says squish, and everything of Cell gets erased but one Cell. And the warrior steps out and says, my name is Trunks, and I'm a warrior from the future after this tournament takes place. So this is where I'm gonna leave it off. And since everything happened earlier, that means that the Android saga also happens earlier than usual. So that's why Trunks comes out early, and also that's why some things are gonna be different in the next part, like Zamasu and all that is gonna be completely changed. So I hope you liked this part, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you and bye.